Hi everybody, this is Danielle. I teach language arts at Stevens Middle School. My students come with a very diverse background to me in the 7th grade. Some of them are from migrant families where they come here to Washington State to find work. Some of my students are American born, and many of my students are immigrants. So in the family unit, I can have a mixture also. And the diversity that my students bring to my classroom makes my classroom a better place. I work hard to support each one of my students depending on, or accepting wherever they are, and not making their status an issue even. I do think that migrant families have possibly more stress just because they are on the move looking for work. I had a student who was with me and then had to move to Texas. It was very hard for her to do that. Her family was going down there to work in the fields and pick the crops there. So I think it was winter time here, and whatever they were harvesting there was in season. So for her to have to pick up and leave my classroom was hard, and that did impact her education. The different statuses of my students in conjunction with race, religion, disability, gender, nationality, all of those factors also influence my students. And some of those issues like religion, I don't talk about with my students. I do listen if they want to talk about religion. I just try to repeat or reiterate, emphasize that in America we have freedom of religion, and so we accept other people's points of view. That's a struggle in the 7th grade. It doesn't always happen, but we work hard. I work hard to promote that. The background of my students is a strength, but I also know that it causes stress for them in their personal lives, and the attitudes of their families about education affects how they access education in my classroom. So I work hard to talk about the fact that in America, if we work hard, if we have a dream to own our own business, to run for office, to make a better life, that we can do that, and that typically education is the way to do that. So I promote my students accessing the learning, and I've been able to benefit from the Pasco school system and the GLAD training and the Languages Power training that gives me skills to help my students access learning in my classroom. But it's very important for me, and it's important for my students to know that their cultural identity and their language background, their differences add to my classroom. They make my classroom a better place to be, that it makes ultimately America a better country, because that's what America is built on is diversity. So all those immigrant families coming over to America all these generations ago, and immigrants continuing to come, bring their dreams, their hopes, their different views of the world, and those differences are what makes us a better country and a better people, and me a better teacher. So I feel lucky to be the teacher of my students and to get to know each of them in their unique way, and I consider each of them to be special and important just how they come.